Hey, and welcome to the opening of the next 4 packs from the M21 Magic the Gathering booster box. So I am having a little bit of issues with the network capabilities, so you might experience a little bit of lost frames. I hope it doesn't persist too much. So, but I am going to open 4 of these packs, and in about an hour, I am going to open the last 4 packs of the box. So let's get straight into it with the Lilianas here, and then we have a couple of Teferi. So, okay, we're putting these aside here, and let's get straight into it. I am losing a bit of frame still, even though I have put down the bitrate a bit. I'm still losing a little bit of frames, but hopefully it'll be alright. Okay, the first card is going to be a blue common creature, a Merfolk Rogue. So it's the Library Larcenist. It's a 1/2 creature that costs 2 and a blue to cast, and it says whenever Library Larcenist attacks, draw a card. Pretty cool. Oh, let's put that there. And then we have a black common sorcery. We have the Mind Rot. So it costs 2 and a black to cast, and it says target player discards 2 cards. And then we have a green common instant. We have the Titanic Growth. So it costs 1 and a green to cast, and it says target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. And then we have a red common instant. We have Thrill of Possibility. So it costs 1 and a red to cast, and it says as an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card, and you get to draw 2 cards. Then we have a blue common instant. We have Rookie Mistake. So it costs 1 blue to cast, and it says until end of turn, target creature gets +0/+2, and another target creature gets -2/-0. Then we have a black common creature and imp. It's the Furted Imp. So it's a 1/2 with flying that costs 1 and a black to cast, and it says for 1 black, Furted Imp gains Death Touch until end of turn. Then we have a Daybreak Charger, a white common creature, a unicorn, and that it costs 3. It's a 3/1 that costs 1 and a white to cast, and it says when Daybreak Charger enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Then we have a red common creature, a elemental dog. It's Chandra's Magmat. So it's a 2/2 creature that costs 1 and a red to cast, and it says for tapping it, Chandra's Magmat deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Then we have a common artifact, a Silent Dart. So it costs 1 to cast, and it says for 4 and tapping it, sacrifice Silent Dart. It deals 3 damage to target creature. Then we have a white common creature, a dog. It's the Alpine Watchdog. So it's a 2/2 creature with vigilance that costs 1 and a white to cast. Then we have a black uncommon legendary enchantment in a shrine. It's the Sanctum of Stone Fangs. So it costs 1 and a black to cast, and it says at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. So for those shrine tribal decks. Then we have Witch's Cauldron, a uncommon artifact, a black artifact, and that costs 1 black to cast, and it says for 1 and 1 black, and tapping it, sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Then we have a green uncommon creature, an elf archer. It's the Skyway Sniper. It's a 1/2 with reach that costs 1 green to cast, and it says for 2 and a green, Skyway Sniper deals 1 damage to target creature with flying. Then we have a rare land, the Temple of Epiphany. So it's it says Temple of Epiphany enters the battlefield tapped. When Temple of Epiphany enters the battlefield, scry 1, and you can use it for either a blue or a red mana. Then we have a mountain and a sapling token. All right, let's see what we have here. I'm still losing a little bit of frames. It seems like we're losing about 5%, so that is okay. Not the best, but we'll take what we can get. All right, first off, we have the Crypt Lurker, a black common creature, a horror. That's a 3/4, cost 3 and a black to cast, and it says when Crypt Lurker enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature or discard a creature card. If you do, draw a card. Then we have a green common creature, a dinosaur, Colossal Dreadmaw. So it's a 6/6 with trample that costs 4 and 2 green to cast. Then we have a red common creature, a devil, Hobble Fiend. So it's a 2/1 with trample that costs 1 and a red to cast, and it says for 1 mana, sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Hobble Fiend. Then again we have the Library Larcenists. Then we have a black common enchantment aura. It's the Infernal Scarring. So it's a common enchantment aura. It costs 1 and a black to cast, and it says enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Then we have a black common creature, a fungus. We have the Deathbloom Talent. So it's a 3/2 that costs 2 and a black to cast, and it says when Deathbloom Talent dies, create a 1/1 green spiraling creature token. Then we have a blue common enchantment aura. We have the Rousing Reed. So it costs 2 and a blue to cast, and it says enchant creature. When Rousing Reed enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. Then we have a white common instant. It's the Feet of Resistance. So it's cost 1 and a white to cast, and it says put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Then we have a black common instant. We have Grasp of Darkness. So it's a common black instant that costs 2 black to cast, and it says target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. Then for the uncommons, we have a uncommon artifact creature, a Mire. It's the Paladin Mire. It's a 2/2 creature that costs 3 mana to cast, and it says for tapping it, you can add 2 colorless or diamond mana to your mana pool. Then we have another Shrine. It's an uncommon legendary enchantment, a Shrine. Green this time. It's the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. So it costs 2 and a green to cast, and it says at the beginning of your pre-combat phase, add X damage of any one color, where X is the number of shrines you control. So again, good for those shrine decks. Then we have a multicolor uncommon creature, a Centaur Cleric. It's the Concave Mentor. So it's a 2/2 creature that costs 1 green and 1 white to cast, and it says if 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. When Conclave Mentor dies, you gain life equal to its power. So pretty cool, and pretty cool for those counter decks. And then we have a red rare sorcery. We have Transmogrify. Costs 3 and a red to cast, and it says exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. That player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles the rest into their library. Ooh, and then we have a beautiful foil rare Containment Priest, and also the full art showcase. So it's a white rare creature, a human cleric, Containment Priest. It's a 2/2 that has flash, and it says it costs 1 and a white to cast, and it says if a token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. But very cool there. It's a full art foil there. Very, very nice. And then we have a forest and a bird token. All right, let's get into the next pack here. Here we go. First, we have a Wall of Runes. It's a blue common creature, a wall. It's a 0/4 defender that costs 1 blue to cast, and it says when Wall of Runes enters the battlefield, scry 1. Then we have another Furted Imp, so don't really need to talk much more about that. Then we have a Snare Spinner, a green common creature, a spider. It's a 1/3 that has reach. It costs 1 and a green to cast, and it says whenever Snare Spinner blocks a creature with flying, Snare Spinner gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Then we have a red common creature, a Goblin Shaman. It's the Goblin Arsonist. So it's a 1/1 that costs 1 red to cast, and it says when Goblin Arsonist dies, you may have it deal 1 damage to any target. Then we have a blue common creature, a human soldier, the Keen Glide Master. So it's a 2/1 that cost 1 and a blue to cast, and it says for 2 and a blue, target creature gains flying until end of turn. Then we have a black common instant Village Rites. It costs 1 black to cast, and it says as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature and you get to draw 2 cards. Then we have Makeshift Battalion, a white common creature, a human soldier. It's a 3/2 that costs 2 and a white to cast, and it says whenever Makeshift Battalion and at least 2 other creatures attack, put a +1/+1 counter on Makeshift Battalion. So can kind of boost it by attacking with more creatures and that. Then we have a white common instant Defiant Strike, cost 1 white to cast, and it says target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, draw a card. Then we have one of the alternate arts of a blue common creature, a human wizard. It's the Teferi's Protege. It costs 2 and a blue to cast. It's a 2/3 creature, and it says for 1 and a blue and tapping it, draw a card, then discard a card. Then we have a common white instant Revitalize. Didn't we already have that one? No, we didn't. So it's cost 1 and a white to cast, and it says you gain 3 life and you get to draw a card. Then for the uncommons, we have a blue uncommon instant. It's the Rewind. It costs 2 and 2 blue to cast, and it says counter target spell, untap up to 4 lands. Oh, we're in the right pile here. Then we have a uncommon artifact creature, a construct. It's the Chrome Replicator. It's a 4/4 that costs 5 mana to cast, and it says when Chrome Replicator enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more non-land, non-token permanents with the same name as one another, create a 4/4 colorless construct artifact creature token. Very cool. Then we have a blue uncommon enchantment aura. It's the Enthralling Hold. So it costs 3 and 2 blue to cast, and it says enchant creature. You can't choose an untapped creature as this spell target as you cast it. You control enchanted creature. So it's kind of steal a creature, I guess. And then we have a rare green creature, an ooze. It's the Scavenging Ooze. It's a 2/2 creature that costs 1 and a green to cast, and it says for 1 green, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain 1 life. Pretty cool, again, for those counter decks. Then we have a Tranquil Cove, comes into the battlefield tapped. You gain 1 life, and you can use it for either a white or a blue mana and an arena token card. All right, for the 4th and last pack of the stream, let's see what we have here. It seems like it's kind of stabilized with the network here at the end, so hopefully it'll be quite all right. All right, the first one we have is the Hobble Fiend. Again here, a red common creature. Then we have a blue common instant. We have Opt. So it costs 1 blue to cast, and it says scry 1, then draw a card. Then we have a black common creature, a horror, a Gloom Sower. It's an 8/6 that costs 5 and 2 black to cast. And it says whenever Gloomsoul becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Then we have a common land. It's the Radiant Fountain. So it comes into the battle. Wait. When Radiant Fountain enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and you can tap it for a diamond or a colorless mana. So it was just me. I was just so used to it actually being one of those normal dual lands. Then we have a Snare Spinner again. Then we have a red common instant. It's the Goblin Wizardry. It's cost 3 and a red to cast, and it says create 2/1/1 red Goblin Wizard creature tokens with prowess. Then we have another Feat of Resistance. And then we have the kind of normal version of Teferi's Protege. And then we have a black common creature, a skeleton archer called Skeleton Archer. So it's a 3/3 and it costs 3 and a black to cast, and it says when Skeleton Archer enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Then we have, for the uncommons, we have a red uncommon enchantment. It's the Furious Rise. It costs 2 and a red to cast, and it says at the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. Oh, put the transmogrifier the wrong place. Why didn't you tell me, guys? There we go. Furious Rise right there. All right, and then we have a white uncommon creature. We have a human soldier. It's the Falconer Adept. It's a 2/3 that costs 3 and a white to cast, and it says whenever Falconer Adept attacks, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying that taps and attacking. So pretty cool to actually get those extra attacks there. Then we have a green uncommon instant, Fergal Rebirth. It costs 2 and a green to cast, and it says return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If a creature died this turn, create 2/1/1 green spiraling creature tokens. Oh, pretty cool art on that. And then we have, for the rare, we have a green rare in sorcery, Primal Might. So it costs X and green to cast, and it says target creature you control gets +X until end of turn. Then it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So kind of a pump attack spell as sorcery. Then we have another foil. We have a uncommon white creature, a human knight, the Tempered Veteran. So it's a 1/2 that costs 1 and a white to cast, and it says for 1 white and tapping it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, and for 4 and 2 white and tapping it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So it's kind of easy to boost already boosted creatures with counters. So, but very cool foil there. Very nice. Okay. And then we have the Scorched Barrens. Come into the Battlefield tab. You gain 1 life, and you can use it for either a white or a black mana and a cat token. All right, so this was the contents of the what is this? The 28th, 29th, 30th, and 32nd, I think, or 31st pack. I'm not really sure, but the 4 packs from the booster box. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, and if you have any comments for me, please leave a comment. I hope that the network is going to behave itself so that it will stream okay in about half an hour when I'm going to open the last 4 packs from the booster box. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you all in about half an hour when I'm going to open the last 4 packs from the booster box. See you all later. Bye.